Reasons that I was so invested in entering co-op was because it really allows you to understand the professional world. I know many people tend to have part-time jobs here and there throughout their university career, but there's a fundamental difference between a job of that nature and something that's a little more centered on your field of study. So it gives you a really good idea of what you're going to be doing long-term in your career, and it establishes this sort of professional standard that informs, the way that you may apply yourself a little bit more in class in the coming semesters, or the way you'll approach an internship in itself. Um, One of the things that I started to appreciate near my second internship was, the gradual development of a professional reputation. You get to really demonstrate to either your managers, other interns who you may end up working with later in your career, the kind of person that you are. You can be trusted in a professional setting, that you're fun to work with, what have you. Beyond that, it's a great way, as I said, to meet people. You're inherently going to be networking so much just by having a job in the field you study or a field that's adjacent to your field of study. And more than anything, it's the most learning I've ever done in any setting. Obviously, in class, you're seeing these theoretical concepts, you're being put to the test in your exams, but to me, that doesn't compare whatsoever to the kind of learning you're doing on the job and in person, where you're being taught the concepts or you're being shown what you need to do, and then you actually have to go and do it, and you get that live feedback from the manager who says, "Okay, this is more or less what I want, but to get to that next level, you add these 4 or 5 or 6 extra things." And in that sense, it mirrors an exam, but you get to redo it and reapply yourself. And the added pressure, for me at least, kind of gave me that edge for performance and brought me to that next level. If I can share maybe just like a kind of highlight of my co-op career. During my second internship, I was working in at Bombardier Aerospace in the customer service governance area. And early on in the internship, I was tasked with establishing the current state of service centers for a certain platform of jets, the Global 7500. At the time, it was and still is, the main selling point for Bombardier Aerospace, their business jets. I had to speak to a great deal of stakeholders to gather all information about existing centers, projected opening of new centers, and how it interacted with the projected deliveries of the jets in the coming few years. This was meant to establish how ready we were to service these planes and how our system may react to change in location of jets here and there. Um, my manager was incredibly involved in the creation of the PowerPoint, and he showed me so many tricks of the trade. And I learned a great deal about presenting quirks within Excel, hyperlinking certain images on a slide to bring you to a graph that you set up much later in the presentation, but you have that just ready in case a manager asks a question and you have to answer it very quickly. Instead of, sifting through all your slides, you have a quick little access, and it was very crisp and professional. And at the end of the presentation, which was with the head of customer service, I was told that, in essence, the map I had created and the sequence of slides, as well as the establishing of where the jets will be going, were going to be used partially for the future development of the customer service platform. And just as a whole, it was a great feeling of accomplishment and pride, and it really felt as though I had contributed to the advancement of the business, and that my time at Bombardier was worth a lot, not only for myself, but for the place that I was working as well.